بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Al-Hajj is the pillar, and it's been mentioned in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ to be the fifth pillar in Islam. And Allah Azza wa Jal in the Qur'an, where He says, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا, that it is compulsory for the person to make the Hajj once he becomes capable. And in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, O people, Allah had made Hajj compulsory upon you, so make Hajj. And Umar al-Khattab gave us a warning for those who are capable of making Hajj and yet they don't make Hajj. For verily he said, he who is capable of making Hajj and he did not make Hajj, then there is no harm upon him, there is no difference upon him to die as a Christian or a Jew. So Hajj is a pillar, as I said, in the Islam, and it's compulsory once in your lifetime. Once you are becoming an adult and you are sane and you are physically capable and you are free, you're not a slave, and you have the transport and you are having the financial as well capability. And for the woman, once she have her husband with her or a mahram, then it becomes compulsory upon them to make the Hajj once in their lifetime. And in this Hajj, we emphasize the fact that the person has to have ikhlas, meaning that he has to be sincere to Allah Azza wa Jal, making sure that whatever he spends is halal and his Hajj is made from halal. And also to follow the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and be aware to be imitating the disbelievers and make the sins like the people when they go to the Hajj. They shave their beards and they smoke cigarettes and they imitate the kuffar, they have golden rings. All of that is not allowed for the men, and also not allowed for the women to, for example, not to put the hijab properly. So we ask the women to be righteous and make sure that she is going for the sake of forgiveness. Also, it is important for the person when he makes the Hajj to take on his shoulder to learn as much as he can about the Hajj, to take with him a booklet and to teach him the Hajj, and also a booklet for the dua, to attend as many seminars as possible and lectures, to accompany those people who are knowledgeable when they go to Hajj, and to make sure that when they are doing the Hajj, to invest in the time into making the Dawah of voluntary and making the prayer in the Haram, not to spend their time in the markets, as so many people would see them doing that. And also, before he goes to the Hajj, make sure that he fulfills his rights and duties, an obligation towards his brothers, the debt to be settled, and take the debt as a serious matter. Settle the debt, and if the debt is due, then pay it and postpone your Hajj. And if you didn't make the Hajj, then you'll be sinned unless you had permission from the creditor. As for the spiritual as well obligations upon you, make sure that you ask those people you have wronged them to forgive you, and also to learn the etiquettes of the traveling, the journey. So you learn, that is when you say salam, goodbye, farewell to your brothers, you say استودعك الله الذي لا تضيع ودائعه. Your brothers would say in return they would say to you استودعك الله دينك وأمانتك وختيم عملك. And it is as well preferable to make your journey on Thursday if it's possible for you to do it on Thursday. And you learn the dua of the safar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar 3 times. And then Al-Ayah, Subhanalladhi sakhara lana hadha wa ma kunna lahu muqrinin wa inna ila rabbina lamunqalibun. Allahumma inna nas'aluka fi safarina hadha al-birra wa taqwa, to the end of the dua. And remember, there's a dua as well for mounting your camel, or you're coming into on board of the plane or on board of the car. You say Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, the ayah, Allahumma inni zalamtu nafsi faghfir li innahu la yaghfiru dhunuba illa ant. We need to make sure that you need to know that there are things that are permissible for you to make the haram, which we're going to be discussing inshallah. For example, scratching your head is no problem, changing your ihram clothes is no problem. Also, the women, you need to know that it is not permissible for them to make Hajj without a mahram. It's very important to know that. Some women, they go with a bunch of women, they call them the usba or the isaba. They go together, they're thinking that it's okay, it is not right. They have to have a mahram or a husband in order for them to go. Also in the haram, make sure that you don't really break off the prayer of other people by passing between their sutra and their salah. And you yourself, when you make the salah, make sure that you pray to the sutra and don't listen to those people who say there is no sutra in the haram. As for the salat al-janazah, learn about it and learn about as well the salat, the travel, the journey, that you have to shorten the prayer. If you're praying with your fellows who are travelers like yourself, or when you pray behind the imam who's resident, then you have to pray like him. The janazah prayer, also don't really skip any janazah prayer. Don't you say there's too many janazah. Sometimes you pray the janazah and you're about to leave, they will say there's another janazah. Stay behind and attain, because you don't have the opportunity in this country to do the janazah prayer. You hardly pray, janazah prayer in this country. So there you could pray so many prayers of janazah. Learn how to do that. It's 4 takbirat. You could make it 5 takbirat according to the imam, but most of them they will do it 4 takbirat. First takbirat, that is al-Fatiha. Second takbirat, that is as-salat Ibrahimiyya. Third and the fourth are to be the dua, then the salutation. Usually the case in the haram, they will do it 1 salutation, but it's allowed to do it 2 salutation behind those imams who does it 2 salutations. The women who are on their menses, they do everything that the Hajj does except for tawaf around the Kaaba and the tawaf between Sa'i and Marwa, as some of the scholars have said, and also the prayer. They don't do the prayer. As for the Ihram and other issues, going to Arafah, throwing the pebbles, they could do that even they are on state of menstruation. It is allowed for them to take medicine in order to postpone their hayd, their menstruation, but we don't advise them to do so because they will mess up their cycle and then they will be confused whether they are on their menses or not, and they will confuse even the scholars when they ask. So we say just leave it natural, and if you have the menses, just wait until you cleanse. Even if you have to detach yourself from the group and stay behind with your mahram until you finish your Hajj. The Hajj of the children is treated like the adults, but if they do something wrong, we don't really penalize them. If the child is able or capable of learning to say the words, then we'll tell them to say the words of the rituals of the Hajj. If he's incapable, then we will say it on his behalf. Hajj on somebody else, it's a major issue, and it's an issue that we have lots of people differs about it. So I would say that first of all, it should not be taken as a business like these days. Make Hajj on behalf of somebody else. And also we teach the people as well that if you want to make Hajj on behalf of somebody else, make sure that this person, the priority goes to the son and the daughter on behalf of their father and the mother. If they haven't got the time, then, or they can't do it, then they will pass it over to somebody else. Make sure that with the person who's making Hajj on behalf of somebody else, that he made Hajj on behalf of himself first. And also the person you're trying to make Hajj on his behalf, that if he's dead, then he himself, the one who's dead, did not refuse to make Hajj when he was alive. If he refused, there's no Hajj on his behalf because he didn't want to make Hajj. But if he was incapable physically or financially, or he wanted to do the Hajj but he didn't have the opportunity, he died, then you could make Hajj on his behalf. If he's alive, then he has to be physically incapable in order for you to make Hajj on his behalf. But simply because he hasn't got time, and because he's rich enough, he would say to you, please brother, make Hajj on my behalf. You can't make Hajj on his behalf. Just like saying, can you, this is £5,000, make a yearly prayer for me, please brother, or fast on my behalf. You can't do that. He has to do the Hajj, he has to do the fast, and he has to do the prayer as well. The Medina is not part of the Hajj, but it's good to go to the Medina and learn as well the etiquette to visit the grave of the Prophet ﷺ and the grave of the Baqi' al-Gharqad, of the companions, and to go to the martyrs of the Uhud, and to go to Masjid Quba. It's good to learn that, but it's not part of your Hajj. Zamzam is good as well to carry with you, no problem to bring Zamzam with you. Also to know that when you are sitting in Mecca, there is no multiples of sins in terms of quantity, but in terms of quality, yes. Because the person, if he does a sin in the haram, he bounds to make sin somewhere else. It will be easy for him. He will not really feel it sort of significant. So make sure that you don't really make sins in the haram. Now, The slides that you are about to see, there are too many. So I'm not going to be doing all these slides, because if I want to do all the slides, I need more than 9:30. What time is it now? Okay, so inshallah, try to do as much as we can. So I'll tell you the slides, you're welcome to take it. This is what my slides are all about. It will talk about the excellence of the Hajj, preparation, and Hajj and Umrah related definition, and then times of the Hajj and the types of the Hajj. Also talk about the geographical places of the Hajj, the journey itself, the Umrah step by step, and then staying in Mecca. And then the Hajj itself, and then the last day, then after that a recap, and then after that the Medina, which is not part of the Hajj. So the excellence of the Hajj, it's enough to know that if you go to Hajj and come back, you will be just like a newly born child. Your meter has been resetted. There's a great hadith about the excellence of the Hajj and each ritual of the Hajj and what you're going to get for that. This is the hadith which is here in Arabic, and it talks about what you get for every single act that you do in the Hajj. Until you do the Tawaf al-Ifada, which is the last thing, and that is when all your sins will be cleansed. An angel will put his hands between your shoulder. You're not going to feel the angel's hands, but he would say to you, your meter has been resetted, it's been forgiven for you all the previous sins. So that's when you finish the Hajj. So the excellence for you to read, now the Hajj Mabrur, that's your goal, which is accepted Hajj with sincerity. Also, now we come to the preparation for the Hajj. You need to be making sure that you're sincere. As I said before, you learn and memorize some of the du'as, you carry the books with you, medical checkup, the debts to be paid. And I'm going fast because we've done some, many of that now, the moment introduction. Also, when you travel, make sure that you're light and you don't pack too many things, because everything's in Saudi Arabia. Make sure that you buy the 2 ihram clothes, the medication, and also if you have a money belt, that would be handy. In terms of the clothing, you could really have comfortable clothes, the towels, as I said. As for the women, they could have any normal clothes because they are not having specific clothes for ihram. Also the shoes, you could have sandals as well. As for sleeping, make sure that you this is for Muzdalifah, maybe they are needed, but if you are having a company that will provide for you sleep there, inshallah, that would be easy, inshallah. Right. I'll just skip that because it's not really that important. Your phone, your mobile, smartphone will be good because you're going to get all the dua and dhikr on all of that, inshallah. Patience, you need to train yourself to be patient because you're going to see a lot of things that would irritate you. Make sure you come back with sin forgiveness, not with sins. Right. And now, the months of the Hajj, as we know, they are Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah. And of course, the days of the Hajj, the 8th and the 9th and the 10th, 11th and 12th and the 13th. You start with the 8th, you end up with the 12th or the 13th. So these are the months of the Hajj and these are the days of the Hajj. Right. As in terms of kinds of Hajj, there are 3 types of Hajj, which are the Hajj Tamattu', Hajj Qiran, and Hajj Ihram. The difference is, Hajj Tamattu', you make Hajj, first of all Umrah, then you break your Umrah, and then you go to Hajj, and sacrificial animal is required. Where the Umrah and the Hajj, when they are together, they're called Qiran. That means you make Umrah, you don't declare state of Ihram, you link it to the Hajj, and sacrificial animal is required. And finally, Hajj Ifrad, which is the people in Mecca, there's no Umrah for them, and this is no Umrah in it. But Prophet of Allah commanded us to do Hajj Tamattu'. You don't do it except for Tamattu'. That means Umrah, break up your state of Ihram, then on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, you start your Hajj. So your Hajj is Tamattu' that you should do. Now, the geographical places of the Hajj. These are the mawaqit, they're called the places around Mecca. In order for you, if you want to make Hajj or Umrah, you may not pass them except that you are declaring state of Ihram. So if you are visiting a brother or make a business, there's no need for that. These are the 5 places. They are Dhul Hulayfa, Al-Juhfa, Dhatu Irq, Qarn al-Manazil, and Yalamlam. This is Mecca there in the middle. So those places you may not pass them if you intend Hajj or Umrah, except that you're declaring state of Ihram if you intend Hajj or Umrah. Right. The Haram is got a sanctified area. This sanctified area, it means that you're not allowed to do the following. You're not allowed to frighten the game. You're not allowed to cut the grass. You're not allowed to cut, the trees and the plants, except for the idkhir. And you're not allowed to hunt. You're not allowed to, as well, pick up the lost or the lucky found. You have to hand it in to the lost and found properties. And you're not to bear arms for fighting in that area, which is called the sanctified area. Those places which indicated like this, big massive pillar, will indicate the beginning of the haram. And those are the 5 places here. You'll find them in the sketch: Ja'irana, and Nakhla, Arafah, Dah Libin, and Hudaybiyah, and the Tan'im, which they call it Masjid Aisha. In terms of distance wise, Tan'im and all these places, they don't exceed 13 miles away from Mecca. Be aware, this is not the Mawaqit. So let's just see now the Mawaqit and the Haram. So this is the Haram sanctified area, and the Mawaqit is around it, which is Dhul Hulayfa, Dhatu Irq, Qarr al-Manazil, Yalamlam, and Al-Juhfa. Right, now, as I said, the traveling, when you say the dua, now Umrah step by step. First of all, the summary: this is the Umrah: Ihram, Tawaf, Sa'i, and Halq. That's all. Ihram, when you say the word; Tawaf, you make around the Kaaba; Sa'i, between Safa and Marwa; Halq, that is shaving or trimming. Right, let's just now go to the details. So Ihram for the Umrah: if you are outside these areas, then you declare the state of Ihram from those mawaqit. If you are in the area B, which is inside, you declare state of Ihram from where you are. You don't have to go back. If you are in C, in Mecca, then there is no Umrah for you, it's only Hajj. Umrah is preparation. Now, it's recommended to make a ghusl. So if you're going by plane, you make the ghusl at home. Permissible to, as well, shave, clip, whatever. This is before Ihram, no problem. Perfume your body. And also put the Ihram garments. Pray the prescribed prayer. And then pray 2 rak'ah if you are going from Dhul Hulayfa. If you're going from Dhul Hulayfa, you pray 2 rak'ah. That is if you are traveling by land, not by plane. So if you are in the land, because that valley is blessed valley. If you're traveling from any place, any other mawaqit, then there is no 2 rak'ah. People mistakenly they call it 2 rak'ah of Ihram. There is no such thing. Remember, before this point, you're not yet in the Ihram. This is called preparation. Your intention is already being made already now. Some of you have made already Hajj for next year. Who has made Hajj this year? Who's making Hajj this year? Nobody. This year gonna go now? This year? Inshallah. You better come here. You need to learn a lot. Even beside the point, you come here. Who is trying to make Hajj next year, inshallah?
Next year.
Okay, so your intention is already now.
Yeah, next year, inshallah.
Yeah, next year. Okay, next year, mashallah. You got back problem?
No.
Come here, Basha. Come.
Yeah.
يلا يا حبيبي قرب 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 الله يجزيك الخير قرب حتى تاخذ الاجر ولا تبتعد قرب يا شيخ قرب. Start your ihram, say the following words. حط ظهرك على هنا ايوه قريب اذا كنت عجوز ان شاء الله. Now this is the following words. You say لبيك اللهم بعمرة. Now from this point you are in a state of ihram. This is equivalent to saying Allahu Akbar in the salah. So if you say Allah Akbar in the salah, it's not allowed for you to eat a sandwich or sew your clothes or talk to somebody else. Same thing here. When you say لبيك اللهم بعمرة, I am now in a state of ihram, not allowed to cut my hair, put perfume, cover my head as a man. Okay, all of that are not allowed. So also you add to this the following words. That is, Allahumma umratan la riya'a fiha wa la sumha. Oh Allah, I intend umrah without showing off. Allahumma mahilli haythu habastani. Oh Lord, I declare state of no ihram wherever you're restraining. What does that mean? It means if, for example, the government said to you, having got the full papers, you can't make Hajj or Umrah. And you said these words, you just put your clothes on and you go home and there's nothing on you. Or you've broken your limb or arm, or you've got disease or illness, put your clothes on and go home. You didn't say these words and you have this. If you want to put your clothes on and go home, then first of all you have to sacrifice an animal there in the haram. Number 2, you have to compensate by coming the following year. So say these words and don't forget. Right. After that you start your talbiyah. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. Remember not to separate إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك like people they do. إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك. Remember that. You know, people chanting, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. No, they're not really chanting it properly. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. This is the talbiyah, it's not a song. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk. Listen that. Inna alhamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk. La sharika laka. Or labbaik ilaha al-haq. And keep repeating. Labbaik ilaha al-haq also. So, this is, here I am, O Lord, who here I am. Here I am, there is no partner with you, here I am. But all praise is for you, and every bounty is from you. And all the dominion is yours, you have no partner. Make sure you make the talbiyah as much as possible, with as loud as possible. And it's permissible for you to add these talbiyah, if you want to add them as well. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he had approved the companions. Also to say La ilaha illallah. Prophet's companions, they used to lose their voices 36 miles away from the miqat. So about 3-4 hours, they lose their voices. People they just labbaik Allahumma labbaik 5 times and then they get bored. Right, in the case of the Umrah, talbiyah should be continued all the way until you see the houses of Mecca, which is haram borders. That means if you see you're in Tan'im, you stop the talbiyah because you're going to get ready for something else. Chanting in groups is not really from the sunnah. You make your talbiyah, if you synchronize by coincidence with your partner, no problem. But if you start doing it like in Jama'ah altogether, or even if you deliberately not to synchronize, brother, I'm going to start after you. So we don't synchronize. That's not right as well. Make it natural. That's natural. If it's synchronized, it's synchronized. If it doesn't, no. So you make it talbiyah individual. For the women, they make the same thing. They are to make it loud. But if their voices, if they really have some sort of like temptation into it, then we say it loud enough for the women to hear it. وَفَرِلِ عَائِشَةَ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهَا, she used to make talbiyah with loud voice. And when she made the Hajj, she was only about 19, 20 years old. She made Hajj all the way after the Prophet ﷺ, after he died. All the way until she died. And her voice was loud, and companions to hear her, Aisha, making the talbiyah. Because the voice of the woman is not awra. It's not awra. People think it's awra. Okay. The women, even on their hayd, on the menses, no problem. They as well take the shower and assume ihram and does not pray. And they make the talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, no problem. Right, prohibition acts of ihram, that's after you say the labbaik Allahumma umrah, you're not allowed to do the following. In terms of clothes, men are not allowed to have sewn clothes which are fitting the limb. Like, for example, the turban, the shirt, the hooded cloak, the trousers, underwear, so on and so forth. They cannot cover the head with something that would touch it. They can't put the gloves on. For the women, any normal clothes is no problem as long as they cover. There's no specific color. As for the face, they're not supposed to cover their faces with the veil, which is the niqab, nor they should put the gloves. In the presence of men, they may just put a cloth by dropping it onto the top of the face, but they can't tie it up like a niqab. It's not allowed on the outside of ihram. Also the fragrance, which is perfume, you're not allowed to put it. Men and women. Also, you're not allowed to cut hair from anywhere. You should not clip the nails. Also, you can't make intercourse. You can't wed. You can't propose for a woman when you are outside of ihram. You can't hunt animals or help somebody to hunt an animal. Fishing is allowed. No problem about that. But we'll leave that. Permissible things in the ihram. No problem to use an umbrella. No harm to carry even your baggage on top of your head. Not because of shading, but for carrying it. Sandals, no problem. Putting normal clothes on top of your izar without sliding it in the shoulders, no problem. If you've got a jacket, put it just like this on top of you, but not to zip it, not to put your hands in it, no problem. Use it as towel, no problem. No problem to put your ring, the watch, the sunglasses, eyeglasses, speech aid, hearing aid, cleaning yourself with cleaners, even if they are perfume, no problem. The perfume is not allowed, but not the shampoo and things like this, no problem. Washing your ihram garment, changing your ihram garments, wearing a belt, using a mask for the dust, no problem on that. Right. I'm going to skip that because of the time. Now going to the Masjid al-Haram. This is Masjid al-Haram, Safa, Marwa. That's the black stone corner, and that's the Yemeni corner. That's an overhead project or overhead view for the Kaaba. Right. Now we'll come to the Kaaba. This is the new sketch, this is the new extension, okay, of the Kaaba. Right, this is the Kaaba. Who hasn't been to the Kaaba? Put your finger up, please. Can I ask you, for those who hasn't been to the Kaaba, come to the side, please. So I could just see you, but ask you. Haven't been to the Kaaba? You haven't?
No, I've been.
You've been. The one who hasn't been, please, where are the other one hasn't been? Put your finger up so I know. 1, 2, 3,
Haven't
4,
been.
5. It hasn't been.
Go this way.
No, they haven't been. No problem, you could sit anywhere. But they haven't been. Have you been there? Have you been there, brother? So again, put your finger up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You haven't been to the Kaaba. Listen to what I'm saying. Learn. Right. This is door of the Kaaba. That is Maqam Ibrahim. What is the door of the Kaaba? What is Maqam Ibrahim? Kaaba, when it was built with this door, but it was on the floor. But the Quraysh, they put it up. How? The story behind this is that when Ibrahim alayhi salam built the Kaaba, he built it in the following way. This is the corner, this is the corner, and that corner is stretched all the way up to here. See that semicircle? That is included. So the Kaaba was more than the size of this. This is 2/3 of the Kaaba. And he made the door of the Kaaba is on the floor. And every time he builds a layer of brick, he goes back to see the equilibrium of the building. That takes a long time, years, to build the Kaaba. So when he goes there, he goes back to that place which is called Maqam Ibrahim, the station of Ibrahim. He left a trace of his foot. That's where Allah told us to go and take that position, a place for praying. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he built it. Him and Ismail, his son. Right. The deluge, which is the flood, came and demolished the Kaaba at the time of Quraysh. Quraysh did not have enough money to rebuild it. So what they did, they built 2/3 and they made this semicircle. And this is called Al-Hijr, or Al-Hatim, or Al-Hashim. But wrongly, people, they call it what? Hijr Ismail, which is the wrong name. When I called Hijr Ismail, I thought maybe our mother Hajar, she left Ismail, the baby, inside it. It's not right. This is where the knowledge comes in. Hijr Ismail is not the right name. It's called Al-Hijr. It means the area, restricted area. Al-Hashim, the demolished area, because they couldn't rebuild it. They didn't have enough money to build it. So it's nothing to do with Ismail alayhi salam. So now, Hijr Ismail, to be delete word Ismail and leave the word Hijr. Right, the black stone corner. What is the black stone? Black stone is the stone which Prophet Ibrahim, he wanted a stone that the whole building will depend upon it. It's a very big stone. It came down from the Jannah. So it's not from the earth, from the Jannah. The stone came and it was white, like milk. White like the snow, as the hadith says. What made it black is the polytheism, the shirk and the sins of the kuffar. Right. Now, also you need to know that there is a Yemeni corner. This is a corner. These are the two corners which are being built originally by Ibrahim on the foundation of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So you could touch these corners. Whereas the other corners, the Shami corner and the Iraqi corner, which they call them Shami corners, but Iraqi is facing Iraq, Shami facing Sham. These two corners are not corners, because remember, they are inside the building, they're not outside. You understand me? The original foundation of Ibrahim is here. That's Jibreel came, and with his wing, he dug the ground, and the Zamzam gushed out. And after this, okay, we'll start from the brother who's behind. What's your name?
Altar.
Altar. Okay, listen, Altar. And I'll ask you, and nobody else except for him. What is this place where the question mark is? Yalla Altar. What's that place?
Maqam Ibrahim.
Very good. Maqam Ibrahim. What's your name, brother? Was the one who didn't go to Kaaba. What's your name? Yes, you didn't go to Kaaba.
Yusuf.
Yeah, what's your name?
Yusuf.
Yusuf. What is this? Not the corner. This is where that semicircle. What is it called? Shh, shh. No, only him, please.
Hajj.
Al-Hijr. Very well done. Right, the brother, you did not go to Kaaba, did you? You didn't go to Kaaba, did you?
No.
No, the brother here.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I went.
You went?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't go there, did you? Okay, what's your name?
Karim.
So again, now we have Altaf, Yusuf, and Karim. Karim, can you tell me what is this corner called? Shh. Him.
ما سمعتش يا أخي رحت.
Huh?
I didn't hear it. I was.
You didn't hear. Right, the brother next to him, what's your name?
Me?
Yeah, you next to him, isn't it?
Abdurrahman.
Okay, Abdurrahman. Don't worry, Abdurrahman.
Yemeni.
You think it's Yemeni corner? Okay, who's been there, hasn't been there? What do you think, brother? This is Blackstone. This is the Blackstone corner. This is where the people fight. Blackstone to touch it. It's called the Blackstone corner, right? Now we understand what's the Blackstone. Right, this is called what? Anybody? From the ones that didn't go to Kaaba. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who else didn't go to the Kaaba? You go to Kaaba?
I won.
You went?
Yeah.
So what is this corner?
Allah. Yamani.
Yemeni corner. Very good. Right, brothers making Hajj, inshallah. What's your name?
Hazel.
Hasan?
Hazel.
Hazel. Yeah, you Kurdish? Okay, yalla. Now, what is this corner? Shh, him, Hazel, yalla.
Shami corner.
MashaAllah, Shami corner. Anybody tell me this corner?
Iraqi.
Iraqi corner. Right. Okay, I will ask you, the one on the chair. What's your name?
Muhammad.
What is this direction? Think. Think.
Zamzam.
Very good. Zamzam water. Brother, you have been to Kaaba, haven't you? What's your name? Adam. What is this direction to? Shh. Shh. You been to Kaaba? Brother. As-Safa. Can anybody tell me, from those who did not go to the Kaaba, Yusuf Altaf, and as well Karim and Abdul Rahman and Abdul Hadi. Where is the door of the Kaaba? Is it this side? This is side number 1. Side number 2, side number 3, side number 4. Which side is the door of the Kaaba? I'm asking you.
The very end there.
Is it 1? This is side 1, 2, 3, 4. Which side?
Third one.
Third one here.
Yes.
Yes. What do you think, Abdul Rahman? Is it side 1, the door? 2 or 3 or 4? Which side?
4.
Side 4. What about you, Karim? 4. 4. It is side 4. It is opposite to the maqam. Opposite to the maqam. That's the door, yeah. Abdul Hadi.
You said.
I said a lot.